Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens, 1812 to 1870, was a prolific English novelist and one of the most renowned literary figures of the 19th century. His life and works are both fascinating and extensive. Charles Dickens' early life. Charles Dickens had a challenging early life that greatly influenced his later writing. Birth and family. Charles John Huffam Dickens was born on February 7, 1812, in Portsmouth, England. He was the second of 8 children. His father, John Dickens, was a naval clerk, and his mother, Elizabeth Dickens, was a homemaker. Financial difficulties. The Dickens family faced financial difficulties during Charles's childhood due to his father's mismanagement of finances. John Dickens often lived beyond his means, leading to debts and financial instability. Early education. Charles received limited formal education. His parents couldn't afford to send him to school regularly, so he had to work at a young age. However, he read extensively and educated himself through books from his father's library. Factory work. At the age of 12, Dickens began working at Warren's blacking factory in London, where he pasted labels onto jars of shoe polish. This experience exposed him to the harsh conditions faced by child laborers and left a lasting impression on him. Father's imprisonment. When Charles was just 12 years old, his father was arrested for debt and imprisoned at the Marshalsea debtors' prison in London. Charles's mother and younger siblings also joined him in the prison. Charles had to live alone in a boarding house, working in a boot blacking factory to support himself. Impact on writing. These early experiences of poverty, debt, and the plight of the working class had a profound influence on Dickens's writing. Themes of social injustice, poverty, and the struggles of the poor are prevalent in his novels. His personal experiences fueled his passion for advocating social reform. Dickens wrote many novels, some of which are considered classics of English literature. Oliver Twist, 1837 to 1839. This novel tells the story of the orphan Oliver Twist and his struggles in the harsh world of Victorian London, highlighting the issues of child labor and workhouses. David Copperfield, 1849 to 1850. Considered somewhat autobiographical, this novel follows the life and adventures of its protagonist, David Copperfield, and explores themes of growth, personal development, and social class. Great Expectations, 1860 to 1861. This novel centers on the life of Pip, an orphan, and his aspirations to become a gentleman. It delves into themes of ambition, identity, and moral growth. A Tale of Two Cities, 1859. Set during the tumultuous times of the French Revolution, this novel contrasts life in London and Paris. It explores themes of resurrection, sacrifice, and the consequences of social injustice. Short stories. Dickens wrote numerous short stories and sketches, many of which were published in his own literary journals, such as Household Words and All the Year Round. These often provided social commentary and satire. Christmas stories. Dickens is famous for his Christmas stories, including A Christmas Carol, 1843, which tells the tale of Ebenezer Scrooge's transformation after encountering ghosts on Christmas Eve. These stories helped popularize and revitalize Christmas traditions in England. Throughout his works, Dickens used his writing as a platform to address social issues of his time. He depicted the struggles of the poor, the injustices of the legal system, and the effects of industrialization on society. Many of Dickens's novels were initially published in serialized form in magazines and journals. This allowed him to engage a broad readership and build suspense with each installment. Dickens was known for his humorous and memorable characters, often with quirky names and distinct personalities. Characters like Mr. Pickwick in The Pickwick Papers and Uriah Heep in David Copperfield remain iconic. Beyond his literary contributions, Dickens was a social advocate who used his fame in writing to campaign for social reform, particularly in areas like child labor, education, and the plight of the poor. Charles Dickens's body of work reflects the societal concerns and literary trends of the Victorian era. His storytelling abilities, memorable characters, and keen observations of human nature have secured his place as a literary giant in the world of literature. Thanks for watching.